always have to come last because I teach a Tuesday morning class in what we affectionately called OMD, Old Modern Dance. Not that the modern dance is old, though it's growing into different dimensions these days, but everybody in class is over 55. And so we do very special things to make sure everybody can move beautifully, but not fall down, turn around slowly, and have a very good time. But for this course, I'm going to move to another dimension in my historical, theatrical background. And Women Take Stage has been fascinating to me since a long time back, when we all turned to one of the first textbooks that used to be offered in drama called Masterpieces of Modern Theater. And as I moved through it course after course, I realized that many, not all, but many of the plays had title roles for women. Oh, I said, though the playwrights are all male, what do these men write about? How do they depict? How do they portray? How do they deal with women, starting, of course, with Ibsen in the 1890s in what we might call neo-realism, though we can dispute all these terms, to Samuel Beckett, which we might call the theater of the absurd, which, of course, could be disputed, too. But over those 70, 75 years, we see women and in various ways portrayed in very tense situations, in very joyful situations, in very challenging situations, in very psychologically cruel situations. And each one gives us another dimension, not only of the changing image of woman in the social, philosophical, political, and as Rita would tell us, women's rights world, but also in the different styles of theater. Lynn was just talking about Shakespeare and Chekhov. We won't deal with Shakespeare, but you can never teach a course in drama without referring to Shakespeare, so perhaps some of his women could be models for the women we will look at. But when I began to put this course together about 3 years ago, when I first taught it, some of these plays had not been on the boards. They had not been staged for a long time. And now, interestingly enough, we see more and more of them. Cal Shakes recently did Mrs. Warren's Profession, which is one of the plays we will read. And then they also did Happy Days, which doesn't have a a woman's name in the title, but the leading character is Winnie, who sits on stage the whole time. So we're beginning to see more and more of these plays. Hedda Gabler has been produced a great deal here and in New York, and I'm told that Sarah Ruhl's adaptation of Chekhov's The Three Sisters will be performed at Berkeley Rep this spring. So many of the plays that we will be reading and reading aloud, so you get a chance to test your acting ability. And as my friend said, when I told her about the course, she said, I love the taste of the words in my mouth, and I love the sound of it in my ears. And for theater, what's very important as you read a play out loud is you begin to understand the rhythms. Time's up. So we will go from Ibsen to Strindberg, Chekhov, Shaw, Ennui, Giraudoux, Beckett, and Brecht. We will see DVDs of everybody from Judi Dench to Ingrid Bergman, from Katharine Hepburn to Irene Worth on DVD. We can't do it all, but you can always rent them later. And I have the great privilege of being able to ask Barbara Oliver, who has accepted, our local actress and director, and she will come and talk to us about acting and directing, and also she will be in the performance of The Three Sisters. These plays combine tragedy and comedy, as all things in modern times do with all our crisis, but you'll be very interested to note that in the comedies, the women are depicted either as prostitutes or mad women. So we do have a challenge. So women, come and take stage.
Thank you.